Call this meeting of the Water Board to order. First item of business is minutes.
Motion to approve as written.
Second. Motion second, we approve the minutes as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Financial statements, Chris.
Okay, I'll just go through page 1 real quick on the cash flow. We took in $740,427, spent $434,146, not including our monthly transfers. Our inventory purchases were $34,613, and we spent $17,951 for capital items. So nothing out of the ordinary on here. Go to page 2.
Wait, where's the 17,000?
Capital expenditures.
First page.
Under disbursements. 3 lines from the bottom. On page 2, there's really nothing out of the ordinary here. We were pretty much in line with everything. Our sales for resale were a little above forecast, but actually a little below the prior year. And the source of supply and pumping line is way under forecast, but we still haven't paid our any tank painting payments yet. I believe those will be issued in August. And our distribution line was a little bit over forecast. We had a couple of repairs for some heavy equipment that are in there. They amounted to about $3,000. Left us with a net income for the month of $230,232. And if our tank painting would have been in there, we'd have been a little bit closer to the forecast amount there. Now on to page 3. Everything looked pretty good on this page. We had some sludge removal from Northwest Services. It's in the water and sanitation line, but it's actually still under forecast.
I'm sorry, you wrote that fast one. What line is that?
Water and sanitation.
Oh.
Why do we need the outside vending?
We couldn't drain the basins because the valves were closed, shut. We couldn't open them, so we had to get the sludge taken out of there and then dumped into the sewer through like a vac truck. So once we got down there, we got the new stems on there and actuators were on there and the valves worked now. So
Okay.
And the only other thing on page 5 I wanted to point out was our bond payments are due on September 1. So I'll be making those in a couple of days here. So that'll drain our sinking fund down. But that's all I've got, unless there's any questions.
What's a sinking fund?
For our bond payments, or twice a year. It's required by the bond issuer to have.
So much to make sure that we can pay.
Why were our metered industrial and government sales so much higher?
I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, like not contributed to like one vendor or customer or anything like that. I just wondered if it was hot weather, less rainfall, because we only had 1.86 inches for July compared to 4.5 in June.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, anything else for Chris?
The income is way up.
If those tank painting payments were in there, it would be down lower.
There's no tank painting in there.
Not yet. It's in the forecast, but we haven't paid any yet.
So how much do we pay on the sinking fund every month? I'm looking at this just so for my information. It's from the income expenses. That's
Actually, on page 1 on your cash flow, you'll see
just so I know. Is it on one?
on the transfers section, the redemption fund, that 119.4.
That's every month.
Yeah.
Our expenses were so low, even though our income was high, because we still owed some money. Coming up on the tank painting, is that why our income is so high and our expenses are so low?
No, I just factored in tank painting expense in the forecast, so that's why the forecast income is lower. And our actual income is higher because we haven't made any payments yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We haven't paid it yet,
Yeah.
so the income is high.
I think it usually is in the summer with the revenues up,
Thank you.
just compared to the prior year.
All right, I'll entertain a motion
So approve it.
A second.
motion second that we accept the financials as presented. Any additional discussion?
Aye.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Purchase order 3.
Okay, you have a list of 4 items here. The largest one is for Reith Riley, and they're going to repair a street over here on 6th and Pine where we had a main break, and it took out quite a bit of pavement, and it buckled the pavement up. So they're going to come in, take the old pavement out, regrade it, stone it, base it, and with binder, and then put a vinyl in there. So we were thinking about taking it out ourselves, but then we'd have a hole there until they got in there. So we figured we'd just let them do everything.
Is that by that old church?
No, it's over here, 5th Street.
Oh, on time, no?
Yeah. So everything else is, and then the glass block installation, the Carroll Ave tank. We got some single pane windows in the valve house. We're going to take those out and remove the boards that are over those windows, put glass block in there and kind of dress it up a little bit, and get that building painted so it'll look pretty nice.
Randy, what was I think we spoke briefly, that main, what happened to it? Why did
It just, it dates back to the 20s, and for whatever reason, it could be the water temperature, it could be vibration on the streets, it could have been what they were doing over here that might have created an issue on it, but the main split lengthwise almost 8 foot in there, and there was a lot of water off a 12-inch main, so it was one of those things, and I think that's why our pumpage on one day was higher in July than we had for a long time, so because we're trying to keep up with it. So, but we got it shut down, got it fixed, and back in service. So.
All right. The water main extension proposal.
Okay, this is for East Harrison Street. Over the years, we've had some dirty water complaints, and thought, well, this would be a good time. Maybe we could get this in. Currently, coming from the east, the water main stops 1 block west of Tilden Ave, and there's a fire hydrant there. That doesn't create too much of a problem with us. It's the one coming from Franklin Street towards the east that stops just on the other side of Marcus Electric, and there's no way of flushing that, and it's a dead end, and they get dirty water. So I got 2 options here. One is to extend it down past Oak Street, place a hydrant so we can flush it, or just continue the entire length between the 2 dead ends, if you will, and then create a circulating main, and that would help the entire stretch in there.
How are we doing? Wayne heating.
Wayne is fed from Superior Street through the back. H&R Body Shop, they're from the back, and then Marcus Electric, and then there's one right on the corner there. They come off the front here. So
Do we have to restructure any of those?
no.
So you want to connect both mains?
That would be the optimum thing to do if the board wishes. The only cost we're going to have on this is the material cost in either case. Labor's going to be paid if they're laying main or doing some other work for us, our crew. So,
You want our approval on this?
well, it would be nice one way or the other.
I like Randy's recommendation, I move to approve it as presented.
I second.
Which one? Option 2?
2.
Okay.
Is that the one you recommend?
That's the optimum way of going. I mean, we can get by with option 1 for cost purposes, but I think option 2 would be the way to go.
For the future?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I agree.
I guess we don't have to look.
What?
They concur.
Okay.
You better take a roll out of that. All right, there's a motion and a second that we take option 2. The superintendent's recommendation for the Harrison extension. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed?
Who made the second on that?
I made the motion and got second.
Okay.
But, so we got rid of we eliminated the dead end water mains, right?
Yeah. That's water.
We don't need a dead end.
All right, proposal from Arcadia to prepare the assist the department in the risk and resilience assessment.
This is what I mentioned to the board last week, that we'd be receiving a proposal from Arcadia. They were once Malcolm Perney. They put our vulnerability assessment together back in 2004 with our first emergency response plan. And to keep things kind of on the same track, I'd like to use them again. They did a great job for us. This cost for these 2 plans are $105,000, and they'll be billed as the tasks are completed. And this won't start until next year, but we needed to get on the list so they wouldn't be tied up with other ones. So,
And it's when next year? What month?
well, actually, they're going to start this in May or in April with us, and then we'll be wrapped up by the end of the year, because then we have to start submitting our plans to EPA.
But this is Arcadis, not Arcadia.
Arcadis, that's correct.
They can't start any sooner?
I don't know what their game plan is. I think they're still doing some training on this with EPA. So, I mean, we're going to be okay to get it complete and done in time to file the plans with EPA.
You need a motion? A motion to
I think we should.
approve your recommendation to hire Arcadis.
Arcadis.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we proceed with Arcadis on the risk and resilience assessment for the emergency response plan. Not to exceed, is that what it is?
Yes.
5,000. All right, any additional discussion?
So this is risk and resilience, and then the emergency response
Yeah,
plan.
there's two different
Two
plans.
different plans.
Yes.
Okay.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
I couldn't abstain on
Haas Road project.
Okay, again, this is an update from our last discussion on this. Staff and I walked the property. It's a mess. The house is inhabitable the way it is now, without major construction. They're asking $90,000 for it. It's almost an acre and a half of land, which will match lengthwise, depthwise with ours, and it'll add another 100 feet to the width of our property if
What's
we
the
decide.
square foot of their property?
It's an acre and 0.41 acres.
Well,
So there's a house, a large garage. The garage has a concrete floor. It's sound. And again, we walked the property. It didn't seem like there was any environmental issues that we were known to see. But the land needs to be cleaned. It's just overgrown with brush and weeds, and there's a lot of trash there that will have to be cleaned up. But we do have Lou Pizzuto doing an appraisal on the property. and he's going to appraise it 3 different ways, with just the land, one with the 2 buildings, and one with just a garage. And then we can kind of work from there. But in talking with the representative of the estate, she'd like us to see if putting a deposit down as earnest money to hold us in line. And she had another party look at it, so I had a check tonight for $500. And if everything goes well, I'd like to have Gus and I negotiate with her once the appraisal comes in, and then if everything works out, we can get it for that price or hopefully less.
What's our advantage to owning this, Randy?
Adding additional property to our Paz Road tank site with a garage already there that we can utilize.
So we don't really need the property, but we can utilize the garage.
And the property, and the garage, and the property, yes, both.
How do we utilize the garage? I mean, how do we utilize the
It would
property?
give us additional property to the west, so that it just adds a little bit more to our property for
It
that.
gives us additional property, but why do
For
we need it?
buffer.
Well, I feel that, well, I asked the same questions, and
For nice
it's so narrow where our tank is right now. I mean, I think it's advantage just we have more of a buffer, more safety. I don't know.
That was my question.
But we're covered just by what the agreement is. This is just earnest money, where we'll see what the appraisal comes. Without the house, we've got to knock down the house. We've got to take that into consideration, because that costs money. And with the house, we'll see. If it's really low, we have nothing to lose, because on
90 seems high.
well, section 11, it's the board approval before closing. So if we have any issues with this, we could back up. So we're safe. We're committed, but we're not really, all the way.
Appraisal comes in.
Until the appraisal comes, we can do all of it. And so we're okay.
Well, then approve.
Yeah, motion to approve
Second.
for the earnest money.
Motion
Of
second.
Thank you for the explanation.
Authorize the
Thank you for looking in.
director to move ahead with the earnest money on the Paz Road project.
Okay.
Discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Class 2 engineering estimate for Gulfwood Road.
This is just south of Beverly Shores, off of Broadway, heading back to the old campground back there. This lady just wanted an updated price. Again, we figured a 2-inch pipe going down the Scoffview Road dead ends into her property. There's maybe one other lot that would be able to be served off of this. So again, in keeping with what we've done before, we updated the material cost, labor cost. We did quote just the material cost in the prior estimate, and this one is $10,518 plus she'll have to pay whatever fees Beverly Shores would require at that time too. So I don't think there's a big deal with this thing. I don't know that she'll go along with it, but we'll see.
This is in accordance to our normal procedure, and I move we approve the recommendation by the.
That is a proposal, right?
It's just an estimate.
Yeah, an estimate.
So you
We
don't-
don't need a motion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually do it because we're quoting cost to the customer.
All right.
I second. I'm sorry.
Motion second, that we proceed with the estimate
As we've done in the past.
for the water main extension of Gulfwood Road in North Shore. On the question, any discussion? All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Flu shots, proposed benefit for employees.
Yeah. The flu epidemic, enfluzema or fluzine, however you say it.
Influenza.
Yeah, is getting worse every year with different strains and so on. some employees get shots, some people don't. Several years ago, when we had our own health insurance company, they didn't provide it. Then when we went to the city's plan, they started providing shots for employees and so on and so forth. And then when we moved away from the city's plan, our policy doesn't cover flu shots. And they would if you went to the doctor, paid your copay, plus if they then prescribed it. So I was just thinking it might be something nice if we did this for our employees. Now the flu season's coming about. Cost us a total of $1,638.
For all of them.
Yeah, for all 39 employees.
How much a year?
Pardon me?
How much per employee?
It would be up to $42. I mean, they could go to either Walgreens or
By
CVS.
37 to 60.
And then what they would have to do is pay for it, bring their receipt in after they get their shot, and then we just reimburse it. Similar to what we do with our safety shoe allowance.
You agree?
I don't know.
So, Randy,
It's hard to say what our group would be because some people get them, some people don't.
yeah, that was going to be my question. So,
Yeah,
we'll just pay for the ones that do.
we only pay for the ones that get them.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not mandatory.
No.
That's fine. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think it's just something that we should offer them. It's not.
I do too.
I've always, well, last year Pat and I used to get ours, and last year we just forgot it. And
Is that a good board member?
if you guys want to include yourselves, I have no problem with that. As long as you don't cry when you stick a needle in it.
Were you going to say something? Okay.
I think it's a nice bet.
Yeah, I agree.
It's helping,
Help and gives it to their own patients. If you go in, you're going to pay at least that much.
All right. Any other discussion?
Half, you want to pay half. So that's going to pay $10.
That's fine. I'll move to approve whoever needs a flu shot. Pay for it.
I second.
There you go.
Motion second that the district provide flu shots for the employees at Art Cross. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Old business.
I have none.
Any board members have any old business? New business. Public comment.
You have any comment?
No, you.
I've already talked enough tonight.
Move to adjourn.
What did you say, Gus?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second, we adjourn all those in favor, signify by saying
Aye.
aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.